welcome to OverDrive episode 6.
On the move again.
Yeah, we like being on the move.
Well, we may as well be.
Yeah. Yes, so this is the 6th episode of OverDrive, and we got some things to show you this time.
We certainly have, haven't we? Come a long way so far. Episode 6 already. First up, we've got an interesting one which, if you may remember, I said I hope to get in the bag. And it was a Saab 9.3 Estate. Little certain features about this car that I did not expect when I collected the car, and I think neither of us expected, did we, to be fair?
No.
So this is a very interesting video. It was to make, and I think it will be to view. So yeah, it was a really good car, this, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So here comes the Saab 9.3 Aero Estate. Today we've picked up ourselves a Saab
9.3 Estate.
A 9.3 Aero Estate, which I really like the look of this car. Love the colour. It's a very strange colour. We thought it was black at first. Now we're realising in this light it's not actually black.
It's a very dark bottle green. It is. This should be interesting.
It should. This should be good than this.
The Saab 9.3 was one of those cars when it was released. You knew it was going to be a line that stayed around for a while. And it did.
Yeah, he puts air fresheners up here, but one of them caught my eye. I pushed it further in, but it was stuck right out. So I thought, I'll have a look. And then I pulled this down and thought, hang on.
Yeah. This was
so
my,
I guess you can clip that to do that, which nearly takes your head off when you do it. So you can have that.
Yeah.
So your sun stops you, but then also put your sun visor down. You're nearly shielded, aren't you?
Yeah, that was pretty much the idea.
Yeah, but what a good idea that is.
My Citroen C5 had exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I still miss that C5.
I like that. And when they're all fastened up and folded up, it's not as if it's all hanging loose and it's rattling because there's two. It's just all fine. When I first climbed in, this interior. Brilliant interior, absolutely brilliant. For me, it's going on a bit like your 75.
Yeah.
Because you've got these light colours and it's leather and that. It's a very warm, inviting interior, is this. And look at those back seats.
Yeah.
It's like a sofa.
The thing I would say, and this is just by sitting in it now.
Yeah. This
actually feels safer than the 75 does. And the 75 was ahead of the class.
Isn't it just a thing with Saab where you know they're all about we're going to make it sure it's done better, safer and all that, but don't you get that feeling you're in a very safe, strong car?
Yes. You look at the colours here by the windscreen.
They're chunky, aren't they?
I mean, that's not even taking into account the door.
Yeah.
That's the thickness of the 75.
Yeah.
And then you've got the door as well. It's like that.
We're going about the Saab bonkers advertising and how they claim everything's just like a fighter jet. It even says aero on the back.
Yeah.
But one thing straight away, and when I was going to start the vehicle up, I looked for a normal place to put a set of keys. And then we discovered that they're down here.
By the handbrake.
Again, a bit like a fighter plane.
Yeah.
Everything's all so different. You wouldn't expect your ignition.
You know why they did that?
I've no idea. Is it just bonkers or was there a purpose?
There's a purpose behind it. When you put a key into the side of the ignition, where's your knee in the event of an accident?
Well, it's right in that area, isn't it?
It's right below the key. So if you had an accident, and even a slight one, and it shoved your knee forward, you could have a kneecap injury from your key.
From your keys in a barrel, yeah.
Yeah. So moving the barrel and the keys away from that area makes it safer for you.
Now the thing is, why isn't this a trend that most cars follow? Because I think that's a really good feature, having your keys there. It's different. Well, it's different because other cars don't do it, but it just makes it more interesting driving. There's something else to do, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're thinking, oh, that's different.
Time to take it for a test drive.
Yeah, this Saab really, to me, it still feels as tight as a drum to drive, doesn't it? It feels really good. You can tell that you're on 19-inch wheels, and you can tell you're on low profile tyres,
Yeah,
especially on a bit of a road like this.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bump.
I won't say it's too harsh.
No, it's actually not bad.
I really won't say it's too harsh at all.
I think it's one of those, swapping it for something like 15-inch alloys or 15-inch wheels. That would help a lot.
Yes, it would, yeah.
But it's also, is this kind of ride going to be too much for you?
Yeah, there would be that, wouldn't there? But do you know, it's a... we said it's a... This is a 2.3 turbo, and as you can see,
That does pick up quite nicely. And that's not really pushing it either.
no, and that's climbing uphill as well, and we've got a fair sized car here, it's got a nice bit of weight to it, and yeah, it really can move.
That's good.
It sounds nice.
Mind you, I did notice the exhaust at the back's quite big.
It has got a chunky exhaust on the back, hasn't it? So, interesting points on this car.
LPG.
It is LPG, this, which again, very surprised when we picked the vehicle up to find it was LPG. So,
Go on, left here.
as you can tell, it is very.
Yeah,
You only need a slight stab of
brake.
a brake, and it's
throwing all on it.
yeah. It's I'd say it's a question of one thing, getting used to it being an automatic as well. You don't sometimes know when that first gear change is going to come, like that one, and you just get a little jolt.
Yeah, in the sort of higher torque gears.
Yeah, and
lower rev.
I suppose if you once you get used to it, it'll be probably fine. It's just that first question of getting
But there's also that sort of style change in driving an automatic to a manual as well.
There is, and you don't think there would be at first, but there is a total change. But yeah, this car comes across as a really good car. Massively spacious.
I do like the look of the back too.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what sort of space we would get in a vehicle like this if you popped the back seats down, what you'd have as a boot, because as we've seen,
Huge.
the boot's already fairly big, isn't it?
Yeah.
It does stretch back a lot, and with the seats down, I bet you could get some nice stuff in there easy.
Oh yeah.
The display when you're driving this, everything's all put into three areas that you see. You've got your turbo and all that you can see, and your revs and your speed, and everything you need is there, rather than split over 5 gauges.
You know what the dash actually reminds me of? The whole sort of driver's area. Ford Sierra. Where it comes out.
When I sat in the passenger seat earlier, I was trying to think, what is it reminding me of? And I couldn't bring
It's
it
like
to
a
mind.
rounded version of what Ford were trying to do with the Sierra.
It is.
Yeah, that's good, right.
It's very strange. What Saab were doing at the time.
In a way, I think they sort of, I can see how they've done it, why they've done it, but they've kind of folded forward in that respect. And it was funny because, Saab are responsible for a lot of the things we have in cars these days.
They are. They wasn't ever afraid, Saab, of trying new ideas, were they?
No, not at all.
I like this engine. I really like this engine. Yes, there's a lot of, at the time you might have thought them being little quirks and things, oh that's a bit, but the things that's continued in other cars, so they must have been onto the right thing there.
Probably stick your foot down on this one.
And this is a test. Oh, well, it can shift.
And that's on LPG as well.
Yes. When you boot it, it can shift.
The question is, would you have one?
There's no question. Yes. I'd have one of these easy. Because looking at this, I mean, how could you go wrong? For one, it's an estate. and estates usually come in very handy for chucking stuff in and so on. But I just like it because I've always liked Saabs, and could have not like a Saab.
Take the next ride.
I've always liked Saabs, so really, it might sound a bit of a prejudice, I don't know, but I think I was going to like this car before I even picked it up.
Yeah.
I was definitely going to like this car before I picked it up.
The thing I really do like about it all, the thing I really like about it though is it's got, well, it's just so solid.
Don't you get that feeling of a, I hate to say it, but you get that feeling if someone smacked into you, you'd come off the better.
Yeah.
Because you feel so well protected in this car. And let's not forget, there's a lot of cars now on the market that's the newer ones and such, and I bet even some of them don't feel as safe.
No. Or as comfortable.
Or as comfortable, because he should have warned me about these seats, because these seats are brilliant.
You're going to be taking them out, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, and somebody came along and nicked your seats.
And took your seats, and they're now in my house, yeah. But no, same as that, it's just like a sofa on back.
Yeah.
It's
in fact, that,
really
that
good.
looks more comfortable than the sofa I've got.
Than the sofa you've got. Yeah, it's... How can you fault a car like this? It's just one of those nice places to be, and every time I look around this car and I keep thinking, oh, why did Saab go? Why did they have to go? So that was the Saab Aero Estate, the 931, and
Fantastic car.
I was totally blown away with this car in a way, because for one, I wasn't told it were automatic, so I got in the vehicle and I've sort of had to, not say learn, but get used to it, and it's been a very pleasant drive. It's performed well. I can't fault the car. I've found lots of surprises in it, as you've seen in the video, and so did you.
The night vision.
We found the night vision panel button,
Night panel, yeah.
and Saab always did. Wonderful feature that, but we've got issues, well, not issues, but we still, what was its main purpose? We sort of have an idea, don't we?
Yeah.
But I don't know, panel button and things like that. It's typically Saab, and it's really a challenge to be in. I really think that the key word with this is Saab. Safe.
Yeah.
It is like a tank. I'd happily, and it's becoming a bit of a saying of mine, I'd happily drive this all day long. It's going to be my key saying, isn't it? But yeah.
I think the other thing as well, which you might be surprised, this is also it was your first automatic.
It was.
But also it was your first LPG car.
Yes, as we must point out, as you've seen the video, bi-fuel LPG. Damn good idea.
Yeah. And this is something we're actually going to look at later on as well.
Yes, it is. It's something we will be touching on. So we're glad this car was actually like this. Again, another surprise I didn't know until right at the last moment it was LPG. And pick and shift. We liked it. We really liked it.
It's a 2.3 litre engine.
Yeah. Turbocharged. We had it in sport mode, which you were saying on the dashboard sport as we were driving it. And yeah, it can move. It's a nice vehicle.
Ever look at a Saab and think, should I buy one? Really, the answer to that is yes. It's a well built, reliable, and just a superb all round car.
It is. You sort of really do feel like you are in a aeroplane though. There is them little touches that are saying you're in a fighter plane now, and you want to feel like you are as well. So, sum up really, yeah, we got the bonkers advertising with Saab. They did have some, I won't say crazy ideas, I'd say forward thinking ideas, which I will only say one thing about Saab, which was still here today. That is this wonderful Saab, all nicely done and sorted. And then we'll objection of going back to my friend Andy, with thanks for him allowing us to use this vehicle for the video.
Thank you, Andy.
So yeah, all covered. Wonderful car. Right, so that was the Saab 9.3 Aero Estate, which was a cracking motor, and my thanks to Andy for allowing us to film that car, and thanks Andy for not telling me the features on it, which I found out for myself when I sat in it.
It was nice to discover.
Yeah, it was, and it was a lovely car to drive. Now, motorways. We all use them, don't we?
Yep.
We all drive with them day to day most times, but how much do we know about them?
Especially these new smart motorways.
And there's the word, smart motorways. Malcolm picked me up and decided to take me on a short journey on one of these little areas of a smart motorways, just to see what exactly I knew. And boy, did I find out some things that I didn't know, even so I've been up and down it many times. So here comes a video that really points a lot of things out that I don't think a lot of us actually realise when we go down them.
So here we have smart motorways.
Smart motorways.
Motorways, allowing cars, lorries, buses to get from one part of the country to another at reasonable speeds. Generally, they're fast flowing and always on the move. But occasionally, and quite often in the past, especially at rush hour, this wasn't quite the case. So, to find out what has been done to actually get around this problem and keep the motorway flowing, I'm meeting up with Martin at Harthead Motor Services. We'll have a look at the smart motorway. One of the solutions that are being used to keep traffic flowing, especially at peak times. Do they actually work? How do they work? Let's find out.
Right, hello, and today me and Malcolm stopped off at the Hartshead Motor Service Stations because we're going to do a little piece on smart motorways.
Yeah, so what they do, why are they so smart, and how do they actually help us?
And I hope, personally, from my point of view, on this short journey on the motorway, I'll discover a few things that I probably didn't know. So enjoy this video and hope you can take something away from it.
Let's go find out about smart motorways.
Let's have a look. Rollback. It's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Variable speed limit.
Yeah.
Sounds optimistic.
So what do you know about smart motorways?
Right, well this is the thing. Smart motorways, and the thing that sort of grabs me straight away, because I'm not a person that does a massive amount of motorway travelling. Because any jobs I've had, basically, I haven't had to travel on the motorway. So all my days on motorways has been leisure than anything. So smart motorways to me, I'd need probably a lot of explaining.
Well, you've obviously, as I mentioned in the game on, you've got your variable speed limit.
I did mention that, yeah.
Yeah. But also, there's a lot of other things attached to it as well. So you'll end up with these emergency lay-bys at the side.
Right, yeah.
Everything about the motorway is connected so that it's basically to get you where you want to go safe and as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So it's constantly monitoring things like traffic flow and things like that. But if the traffic started to pick up and started to get a bit bogged down, then the motorway would kick into action. And basically start reducing the speed limit.
Right.
And as stupid as it sounds, it does actually help the traffic flow.
It's all about traffic flow, then, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's other things as well for safety as well. Just concentrating on one thing at the minute, traffic flow.
Yeah.
So, one thing it can do, we've got the hard shoulder on the side.
Yeah.
What it can do is, in high congestion areas, it can open up that hard shoulder.
As an actual ongoing lane.
As a lane,
Yeah.
And that can be used like as we're coming up here on this particular turn-off.
Yeah.
From here to the next one could be used as a separate lane if the traffic flow dictated it needed the extra capacity.
Right.
So you'll come up and you'll see a sign as well. The sign will change to say whether or not it's going to be carried on as a hard shoulder or carry on as an extra lane.
Right, so they're constantly like updating and seeing what to do for the best, aren't they? Yeah.
And then because you can adjust the speed as and when.
Yeah.
The cameras, they are very sophisticated digital cameras.
Yes.
They're capable of a lot of things. For example, number plate recognition.
Yes, I've heard about this. They can, in an instant, get someone's number plate and tell them everything.
So if you're doing something silly like middle lane hooking, when there's no traffic, when there's very little traffic flow, that can be picked up by the cameras. You don't need a police officer driving along with the car to catch you. And that's how a lot of people have been caught. So you see here, we reduced to 60.
Yeah, they've put it to 60 and your speed limit, and there's an X in that far box.
Meaning you can't use that as a
Meaning
lane.
you can't use that as a lane. Yeah.
And this is why we've got something coming up now.
We have. It looks like a police car. So I see some lights flashing. We have, yeah. They have got somebody there. For any reason, but
Yeah, they could have broken down, whatever.
yeah,
But there's also these bits as well. There's one coming up soon. There's like an emergency lay-by.
right.
Now this is where the smart motorway really comes into its own. As you can see there, we're back into national speed limit.
Yeah.
But in this lay-by here, if a car goes into there that's broken down, there's actually a beam that goes across it, or a sensor underneath there. So
Right.
as soon as you go in there, the telephone that's in that particular bay will start to ring.
That's very good. That's something I would have never realised that I'd known about.
So of course you go in, you go to answer the phone and say, explain the situation, and if you need breakdown assistance, it will be sent to you.
Now again, I bet there's lots of people that are actually travelling on here now that haven't got a clue about that.
Yeah. But here's a really clever thing. Let's say you manage to solve the problem and you want to come out of that lay-by. It's quite dangerous coming out of the lay-by, isn't it? Because
When you've got your high speed traffic movement,
yeah,
it is.
well, you pick up the phone and you say, I'm ready to leave now, we're good to go. And what they do is then they will start advising people to come out of that lane for slow traffic.
Again, that is a brilliant idea, and because that would save a lot of potential accidents.
It's a very, very clever system. It's very complicated as well.
It is. A few eye openers already there that I personally didn't know about, especially the thing to do with the phone. I would have never known about. It is a good idea, that.
Now, what do you think happens if the speed limit suddenly drops? So let's say we're coming up to these lights, these ones here, it suddenly says 40 and we're doing 60, 50, 60. There's a speed camera at the other end.
Well, my initial thing would always have to be bringing it down straight to that speed limit.
Which could be quite dangerous, couldn't it?
Yeah, well, I was thinking as I said it, but isn't that a bit dangerous having to suddenly go from a certain speed down to another? Everybody doing it.
A lot of people don't realise this, but when the speed changes,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry. If you're going right up to a camera, don't worry. The camera won't activate for about 30 seconds to allow traffic to slow down.
So you basically, if you see the sign now, you don't have to suddenly just put your foot on the brakes and bring yourself to nearly a stop. Right.
So the camera won't operate for about 30 seconds or so, and giving you time to slow down safely, and the traffic behind you to slow down safely as well.
Because don't you find that I think a lot of people might relate to this when they come onto a motorway. There's cameras for lots of reasons as well, even for people on the bridges. Just basic normal security cameras and subject them. But a lot of people get a bit weary of the cameras and get a bit panicky sometimes. They think, oh, I've just got a bit over the speed limit, and them's the situations I think when they could suddenly slam on and cause an accident. Yeah.
But there's no actual need to do that.
Yeah. Actually, motorways are supposed to be more safer than actually driving on your normal roads.
They are.
If people follow the rules right. I mean, you get more bizarre accidents on standard roads, don't you?
You do.
But it only takes one, doesn't it, on the motorway to do something wrong.
And a lot of people can get involved.
And a lot of innocent people can get caught up in one person's mistake, can't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The important thing about smart motorways, just because the signs are off doesn't mean the cameras are.
Yes, I've actually kept that in mind myself. I'd have always said, well, if I can't see a sign, I'll do a suitable sort of speed and imagine the cameras are always on.
Yeah.
And that's how I'd always play it. Yes, it's like I say, it's a thing that I think a lot of people just won't realise. They'll just think cameras are cameras and that is it. But the way everything does pan out and link together, it is interesting because I wouldn't have known some of them points. I really wouldn't have known them at all.
It can be overridden. There's still some human element to it.
Yeah.
A lot of the system's fairly autonomous.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not totally removing the human element out to, I'd say, let's say, policing the motorways and making them safe. But do we still have the traffic wobbles?
Yes, we still have the traffic wobbles.
Oh, there you go. We've still got them, so they'll shut all motorway off to retrieve a wheel trim.
But yeah, it's fairly good at monitoring the traffic flow. And you can actually see as you go on the gantries as you go past, there's lots and lots of technology there.
Yeah, it's, of course, for the driver, it's one thing you're not going to always glare at as you go under, but for a passenger, I'd advise anyone, if you're a passenger sometime on a motorway, just have a look as you go under, and there's a right amazing amount of things under there, isn't there? You just tend to not look at when you just fly under.
And then there's the big signs as well.
Yeah.
I do like the sign they've got for a crash, which is an upside down car.
And upside down, making out that I think everyone when they have a crash is going to end up upside down.
But to be fair, quite a few of them I've seen have ended up with cars on the side.
Right, yeah.
So, that was smart motorways.
Yes, a few things I've just had my eyes open to, a few pointers there which I never realised was on the motorways, on them smart motorway areas. Maybe you'll be the same when now you've seen the video, that you might think, I didn't even know that. So, yeah, some good points.
I mean, you do end up being slowed down quite a lot while they're being put in. It just takes a long time.
You do, and maybe a lot of people are thinking, well, why can't we do the speeds that we're supposed to do on the motorway? But as it proves, there is a reason. And
it does help the traffic flow as well.
It certainly does, yeah. And just in that short journey, we can see it happening, can't you?
Yeah.
You can. So there is a massive reason for everything that's there. There is. Yeah, I've had a few things brought to attention there that I just didn't realise. I honestly didn't.
Okay. Well, I hope that's been useful for you.
A nice bit of useful bit of information there, both for myself and I hope for you. So I'm glad you enjoyed the video for that. So yeah, that's smart motorways covered. It is. Yeah.
Back to wherever we're doing the links. That was smart motorways. And there's quite a few things about them that you don't actually realise when you sort of plod along them.
Yeah, there was. I had my eyes open to a lot of things there, which now I'm glad I know, to be fair. And I'm sure you'll feel the same now seeing that video. A lot of people say motorways aren't interesting, but
they are. I mean, the things around them. And you've seen the new cameras, the tiny ones are about that big.
The very little ones, yes.
And they can scan up to 5 lanes, so you don't need the individual cameras on the top.
Now you see what technology going into that, scanning 5 lanes.
And I found that out while I was actually doing the editing for the feature.
And that was discovered editing. There you go, you see. Don't anyone say motorways are boring. They're very useful and they do the job, and they're doing more of a job now.
Yeah. But here's something for you. Some pretty good news. The new Kia Ceed.
Ah, the Kia Ceed.
And guess what they've done?
Go on then, what have they done with the Kia
They've
Ceed
dropped
now?
the apostrophe.
Ah, so it's no longer the C apostrophe D or something. Or something.
No, it is now the Ceed. C-E-E-D.
I think either way, the way Kia's going at the moment, aren't they doing well with this Stinger, let's say? Hopefully they are. And they're doing the new Kia Ceed, as you say. I think they're just progressing forwards now, aren't they? They're doing well.
Now, a couple of things to note on it though. It's the same, like the previous Ceed, it's the same platform as the i30.
All right,
Kia Hyundai, effectively the same company.
Yeah.
And you can sort of see the glass work is the same as well. But the lines of the car, they are different from the i30. It's got a different kind of style to it.
Yeah.
And it's a very competent car.
Right.
Because of the new i30N hot hatch, there will be a hot hatch variant of the Ceed in 2019.
Not very long away then.
No, not far away at all.
No, not far away at all.
And yeah, that's going to be quite interesting because what they've done is they've taken the earlier hot hatch versions from the second generation and they've taken the headlights from there and put them across the range.
Right.
So it's eyes are open now, looking at what they're going to do to make the hot hatch version of the Ceed different.
Right. They are really going for it now. I mean, I've even seen the commercials out now for the Stinger.
That is a really nice car.
It's a gorgeous car, that, and they're not going over the top with the commercials, I say. It's just, here it is, basically. And
stick to the facts.
Yeah, they're not dramatising it in any way, but I think it will speak for itself, that car. And I hope the Ceed actually does the same.
Should do.
There's one thing I have noticed, which I saw on the internet, is it a Kia Forte?
Yes.
And that is very similar to the Stinger in some aspects, but not a massive powerhouse. But it has got some nice features on it. It's got some things from the Stinger. It's another big sort of saloon, American say, sedan things. And you can see how Kia's changing, even just by looking at that car.
Also with Hyundai as well, because they, like I said, they are
Well,
the same company.
you can't rule out Hyundai. Like, they're a sharing company, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they're doing the same. They're coming along as well. I think gone are the days that they're going to be a butt of a joke or making awful cars now, because they're certainly not. They're really snapping at the heels of the other workers now.
Where else can you get a 7-year warranty?
Well, I think that says it all.
I mean, that's the longest warranty available here in the UK.
It is. No car company for the UK, or I think even Europe, has ever offered any longer warranty than 7 years that I know of. So, I mean, it sounds a really good package, and I hope it does well. All the Kia's range do well. So,
yeah, Audi. We had a look at an Audi TT.
oh yes, we did. Yeah.
You liked it, didn't you?
Yes, just a little. I liked it. Yeah, I did like it.
Yeah. So an Audi TT Black Edition. And this
Very
one
good
is
car.
the 2-litre turbo diesel. So 170 brake horsepower.
It was filmed on a very, very bitterly cold, horrendous day.
Yeah.
But the car was an excellent car, as you'll see. So today, out in the cold, we decided to have a look at this very tasty car, the Audi TT Black Edition. Diesel version of this, 2 litre and a 170 brake horsepower. Comes with the S-Line package.
The styling's different, it's a lot more sleek than the original TT line was. And a lot more stylish as well. From the front bumpers and the front grille, right the way through to the rear light clusters.
It's basically evolved, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's really evolved from what the first TTs were, the first generation. We decided to take it up on the moors for the drive. The car performed brilliantly. We didn't. We didn't. As you'll see in the shots, it's a lovely car. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope it persuades you to actually buy a TT. It certainly has me. Managed to get one now, haven't we? Not a totally brand new one, but
No,
one
it's 13 plates. It's
13 plate. We're not that really far off from new, are we? But
no.
We're talking second generation.
Yeah, it's sort of back end of the second generation.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a more smoothed off car by then.
Yes, I noticed that when it turned up straight away. What the sort of lines of it, I'd say better.
Yeah.
I think it's as the TT should be. I'm not. How you could compare it with the really brand new model? Maybe that's getting a bit too edgy. I don't know. It's actually better.
But the thing is, this one sat better in the model range than the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was all round and weird.
Yeah.
It was a jelly mould.
I think it was experimenting, wasn't it, at first? And it's evolved nicely, hasn't it, this TT?
It has. I mean, the interior, the whole dash area is a lot better.
This is an absolute brilliant place to be sat. I really love this contrast of. I mean, this is the black edition.
Yeah.
As the chaps told us. But one thing I do find this, again, brilliant German build quality, but this brushed around the console everywhere, this aluminium type thing. The gear stick it's just welcoming to grab, is this.
Yeah.
But it's the contrast of all this with the darkness, but then you've got this blood red display. But when it comes to your speedo and everything, what you really need to be clear in that it is with your white and red. They complement themselves brilliantly.
I like the trip in the middle as well. Just it's vibrant, but it's not glaring.
Yeah, it's perfect for what you need as a driver's car as this TT. I think the name TT is saying it all. I do like how the steering. We've got the flat bottom steering wheel. One thing I'm reminiscent of for the ST, and they all seem to be copying this flat bottom steering, which I think is a good idea. Of course, this is the S line as well, so it gets a lot of extra touches. As have been pointed out, these lovely seats are a bit extra on this, and they're really comfy and supportive.
They are really good.
You could really sink in these seats.
Quite well sculpted. The whole dash area flows nicely.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that even though you've got all the extras for the airbag and stuff like that on the passenger side, it juts out that little bit more than the driver's side does.
Yeah.
It just flows. It's done well.
It's a very well shaped dash and cabin because the way it tapers off that way for the passenger then brings everything just that bit forward for the driver, but then sort of sweeps away again, just a bit set back.
Your gripe about the armrest.
Do you know, I've just spotted this. That is a damn good idea. With all the fuss I pointed out about an EcoSport, where the armrest, it was all right having an armrest, but it sort of got in the way of the handbrake and was a poor design for the two. Audi must have thought, well, we can get around that easy. We'll put the armrest on the handbrake. Now, what a damn good idea is that? It is fairly generous in the boot as well. I'm surprised.
It's huge.
It sort of stretches that way, and it's not one that stretches that way, but it's only width shallow where you could only put. It's fairly deep. So, in fact, I'd say there's more space in the EcoSport in back because that's just tall and that's it. It doesn't go back. But this black edition, I think this will be a 2-litre diesel, is it? It's going to have its own little turbocharger and things like that. And don't get me wrong, for any of them that own an Audi should get petrol or diesel, you won't go wrong with this diesel one at all. It's quattro. It's a brilliant car. I wouldn't fault it as a diesel. I'd be in two minds which to get. I really would, petrol or diesel.
It depends on your driving and what sort of driving you're doing.
It is, yes. You'd have to put thought of that into it, but just look at the spec you get with this black edition with the S line.
It's amazing.
It is. It's a very nice car. It's Audi, isn't it? And it's plush. It's a gorgeous place to be.
It is incredibly comfortable.
And it's surprising because it's not what you call a very long car. It's a nice small coupe shaped and that. And again, we know it's based on the underpinnings of the Golf. This sort of age one is, but it's a million miles away from it.
It just goes to show with a little bit of tweaking here and there, you can get a completely different car out of certain underpinnings. I mean, this would put a Golf GTI to shame.
Yes, it would. And I know someone who's got a Golf GTI and he had a GTD, and I'm a bit that way with Golfs. They all seem very samey and very boring. They seem to be heading that way, but I'm sure give me one of these any day, and it's a much nicer place to be in, much nicer drive and everything.
And being in these as well, in terms of the drive, you know, in terms of the actual quality of the ride, is pretty smooth for a car of this type.
Yeah.
I mean, you will feel the jolts in the road. There's no doubt about it.
Cars of this nature, you would, wouldn't you? Yeah.
But it does its best to smooth them out well without compromising the ride.
You've got a good driving position as well. To say it's a low down car, you don't really feel it, do you? I feel like I'm in just a normal sized car.
I've got
Bags of headroom.
I've got a little bit more than you.
Yeah.
I'm shorter.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I do feel that I'd have to really push myself up before my head would be touching here, so that's good.
You're not going to hit a big bump and bounce. And
No, you're certainly not. No. So, given the choice, put money aside, given the choice of them, I think I'd be running around in one of these. Easy. Audi, I think, yeah, 4 Golfs and, let's say, most VWs at the moment. I'd sooner be in an Audi, and especially the TT, because they are brilliant cars at Audis, and this just shows it.
I mean, when the TT first came out, they were a different shape. They were more rounded. And
That's it.
You did have to ask, why did it exist? Because it didn't suit anything else in the Audi lineup at the time.
No.
And now it does. It fits nicely.
It does. Put it this way, with this car, I wouldn't want suddenly to hear from Audi that they're announcing that they're doing away with the TT, because I think that'd be an error.
Yeah. Now I think it is.
Yeah, I think this car will evolve even more and will continue selling by the bucket load, because you do see a lot of TTs around.
To sum up then, the Audi TT, second generation 13 plate, superb car. 4 years old, it feels like it's 4 weeks old. As I said, it's an evolution from the original TT line. It really, you can't fail with it. You can't go wrong.
If I had the money now, I'd be itching for one of these, I would. Well, I was on the verge of giving this 100%, and then I'm going to have to get a 99.9% because I spotted one thing.
No start button.
It doesn't come with a start-stop button. I found a key in the ignition.
But the thing is though, if you actually look at that, especially with the relay box crap that's going on now.
Yes, you mentioned this, didn't you?
You're actually safer with a key than you are with the contactless start-stop button.
Do you know, that's a good point, and I think if I had a car like this sat on my drive, and you've mentioned that now, I would feel safer that way, so I'm going to give it 100% now.
You've got an EcoSport.
I have, and that's on the list. It's on the hit list, is that? So knowing all that information, I think I'm going to give this 100% knowing that, because I'd feel that little bit safer.
Maybe you can take that one back and get this one on Motability.
So my next option is I'm going to see if they do one of these on Motability, because I want one of these. I'm so taken with it. Right, so that was the Audi TT Black Edition. What an edition! Lovely car. As you see, I'd have one any day, one of them, just like that.
Still looking for one on Motability?
Well, still trying, yeah. We may have to have a bit of a shift from Audi in a sense. Still German, but Mercedes now. C111, a prototype, which I will put my hands up. I was shown a sketch of this and asked what was it, and after about 5 or 6 attempts of guessing, I was getting nowhere near. I didn't even not know about this vehicle, and this is a very odd video, but a good video. So this is the C111 coming up.
Looking at this car, you might think Lamborghini, maybe Ferrari, on an off day in 1975. But no. This is Mercedes. and it's 1969. The C111 started off as a development car. It was developed to test new ideas in aerodynamics, new ideas in engines, new ideas in construction, and used glass fibre for its main body. This made it incredibly light and incredibly strong for the time. It was used to test ideas such as multi-link suspension to see how it actually performed at speed and extreme cornering. It was also used to test new ideas in aerodynamics, air channeling, and styling. Mercedes did hint that it could be used as a basis of a production car. However, they never gave any date for release. But every time it was shown at a motor show, it generated a lot of interest, especially with the history of its development. This was the first car to use computers in helping with its design. Body strength analysis was done to see where weak points could be, how the whole chassis would fit together. Also used to monitor data through testing. They also used a new type of engine as well. The engines used were a rotary Wankel engine and generated 280 horsepower. The technology was unusual at the time, but used a lot of fuel and was very bad on emissions. The car was vastly different to anything Mercedes was making at the time, but during testing, a few things became apparent. While this was a test bed, several things were noted, such as the front of the car lifting at speed. So, the boffins got back to the computers, churned the numbers, and created this. The Series 2. They also boosted the power output to 370 horsepower. The new design took air through the front and pushed it out through channels on the bonnet, giving incredible downforce over the front wheels. This made sure that there was steering and traction even at high speeds. As you can see here, the faster you went, the harder the nose was pushed down, giving incredible reactions from the car when you're steering at speed. The really amazing thing, though, is this was all done without changing the profile of the car. It still looked stunning. And at some angles, looked even more aggressive than it did before. A new interior was created, but still kept the roominess of the original car. Because of the emissions problems caused by the original engines, a new version was created using a diesel engine, rated at 190 horsepower. Looking identical to the Series 2, it produced 17 world records in testing, including the fastest diesel at the time. The car continued to be shown at motor shows around the world and was generating a lot of customer interest. However, Mercedes refused to launch the car or sell a prototype.
The C111 even had some customers sending blank checks to Stuttgart, which did not change the fact that all prototypes are not for sale and now stand in the Mercedes-Benz Museum collection.
In 1978, a third version was created. This was a pure track car. It had a 230 horsepower diesel and set another 9 separate world records. Further on from that, a petrol version was created using a 4.8 litre engine. However, this isn't the car that people wanted to buy. This was purely a test car. But the original C111, that car was the one people wanted to buy, but Mercedes wouldn't sell. Was this Mercedes' missed opportunity? That was Mercedes C111, the car that a lot of people wanted to buy, but nobody really got the chance.
Yep, he even desperately offering numerous amount of checks for them.
Just for sending blank checks.
Just would not let them have it. They're all museum pieces, I'm afraid.
I think Jay Leno might have one. I know the YouTube video Jay Leno's garage has a feature on it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Maybe a guy like that, I think, money talks, don't you? Maybe they'll let him have one. I don't know, but there really was not letting any out of the sights at one time, wasn't with any cars. But a very strange prototype, how they were testing things over and over again.
Multi-link suspension, aerodynamic airflow, how air flows over a car body and things like that.
Let's not forget that, I mean...
the Wankel engine.
Yeah, we know all the jokes about that, but this wasn't only, 10 years ago, so this was in the late 60s.
Yeah, it started, the first one was shown in 1969.
Yeah.
With the revision then shown in 1970. Then it went quiet and then back again in 1979.
Yeah. I think it spawned a lot of things that they use today for the Mercedes and such, so it had its purpose. So,
that's it really for this episode.
I think from that covers everything. We enjoyed the Saab, we loved the features of that and its silly quirks, but how we sort of love Saab and wish it was still here. The Audi, a brilliant car. Could have taken that away with me. Could have taken the Saab as well. The feature on Smart Motorway is a very good, useful thing, and basically sort of wraps up our episode 6. Bit of a shorter one this time, but I think the more compact the better.
Yeah. We were getting a bit long.
We were dragging on a bit. So, yes, I think all that remains to say is once again thanks to Malcolm. Thanks for putting in a massive effort as always with these videos.
And thanks to Martin as well.
Yeah, I hope to really drag some more out of the bag, like the Saab and things like that, and we promise you there will be more. And also, if there's anything you want featuring yourself, please let us know.
If you want us to review your car, wherever you are in the country,
at least let us know about it, because we're always interested.
And if you've got any ideas for features.
Yes, if there's anything you'd like us to fix, it doesn't always have to be, if there's anything you want us actually just to cover a certain topic, or look into for you.
Don't forget to like the video, subscribe as well, because you'll get all the individual features coming as well. And see you next time.
We'll see you hopefully on episode 7.